And that's true whether you're talking about, I'm a champion of the gay community, but I'm not going to do anything to stop people from intentionally spreading HIV and AIDS. They don't care about the individuals. They don't care about people like Michael Friedman, who just died from it. They don't protect the individual. There is no such thing as group rights. And when you pretend they are, and you ignore individual rights, that's the tactic that the Democrats always take. Stay with us. We'll be right back. I'm David Knight.
Choose to take control of your chemistry with Survival Shield X2 and BioTrue Selenium. This powerful combo is perfect for supporting your thyroid and health. BioTrue Selenium's formula all brain.
Because and why do we pay tickets to watch these people? Why do we let them sell this filth to us? Because I guess, in defense of Harvey Weinstein, let's just say this. Harvey Weinstein lived out the movies that he made, didn't he? Had a list of titles of films that Harvey Weinstein had done. And I said, when you look at the Weinstein scandal, which of these titles, and there were so many that were along the lines of Sex, Lies, and Videotape, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, Inglourious Bastard, that was the number 2. Actually, Sex, Lies, and Videotape was number 1. And then things like Full Frontal. They do this all the time. The irresponsible use of sex, the irresponsible use of firearms, and then they use that to control us. And he does this in his movies. He knows it's very popular. He knows that the American people love to see this stuff. So I guess he is, in a sense, kind of surprised that people, once they see him actually doing it in real life, people are disgusted by it. Why aren't we disgusted by it in the movies? That's what makes the movies popular, isn't it? And as Hillary Clinton goes out, and she took a lot of criticism, she was very, very slow to come out and criticize him. Finally, she did come out and criticize him. Then she didn't say that she was going to give the money back for a while. And then she went on an interview, and she said that, she's going to donate it to charity, as she always does. And here's Fox and Friends and Judge Napolitano reacting to what Hillary Clinton said about giving her money to charity.
Money to you directly and indirectly. Mm-hmm. Would you give the money back?
Well, there's no one to give it back to. What other people are saying, what my former colleagues are saying, is they're going to donate it to charity. And of course I will do that. I give 10% of my income to charity every year. This will be part of that. There's no doubt about it.
Is that accurate? There's nobody to give the money back? Well, that is not accurate. I don't know exactly which cash she's talking about. She's talking about cash he bundled, where he had a party and people came to the party and they each gave the max and he handed the checks to her. There's a paper trail of all of that. If he gave money to the Democratic National Committee or a PAC where the amount, there's no cap on it, there's a paper trail on that. So there certainly is a person or an entity to which the money can be given back. What is she going to do with that money? Donate it to the Clinton Foundation?
Right. Well, Clinton Foundation got money from him too.
Yes. Now, what are they going to do with it?
But it does snowball because she's saying, I think he gave upwards of $1 million to the Democratic Party or to her campaign, but he probably was involved in all the celebrity dinners. Those $25,000 plate dinners where the celebrities said that they were going to show up. He was probably behind all of that too. So would she get that money back?
I don't know. Who knows what she's going to do? She really is caught a little flat-footed in this, and we don't know what he's going to do. Now, look, when I went to bed last night, we thought he was in Europe, which is why I wrote those notes about extradition. Now it appears he's here.
Right.
He hasn't been indicted.
Yeah, we were talking about that when I interviewed Lionel. We're talking about his defense again of Roman Polanski and the fact that he said, I'm going to Europe for rehab. And that was widely reported, as Judge Napolitano said, hey, when I went to bed last night, I thought he was going to Europe. Everybody believed he was going there. And Lionel, former prosecutor, said he's probably going there so he doesn't get extradited. And they said they quickly put out the FBI was investigating him to try to keep him from doing a Polanski. One of the actresses said he's not addicted. He's simply a predator. He doesn't care about anybody, and neither does Hillary Clinton. She wants to say that she's giving 10% of the money to charity. They kept virtually all of that money. I think they kept all of it. I don't think they gave any of it to them, but she didn't even give 10% to them out of the Clinton Foundation. So Judge Napolitano was exactly right. He said there's money associated with all these things, but of course, what clouds the issue here for Hillary is that, Harvey wasn't just direct donations from Harvey Weinstein. He had all these parties, and he would bring people in, and they would give money to Hillary Clinton because they felt pressured by Harvey Weinstein to do so. He even pressured people to wear clothes from his wife's collection. That's got to be one of the most humiliating things ever, right? That could end your career right there, to be forced to wear clothes that his wife had designed and sold. But, he had the way to pressure people to do anything. Whether it was illicit sex or wearing his wife's clothes or contributing to Hillary Clinton, that's the whole point. The whole reason that this is a big issue is not because it's simply a predacious predator who is a pervert out of Hollywood. Yeah, there's a lot of those people around there, a dime a dozen. Who knew? It was also heavily connected in politics. And that's what we're seeing from many of these people, interestingly enough. People like Matt Damon, who shut down previous efforts to expose what Harvey Weinstein was doing. They're very heavily connected in politics as well. Have a great deal of hypocrisy as well. Matt Damon loves to jet all over the world lecturing us about using fossil fuels. Matt Damon. I suppose I say Damien. I'm just kind of the devil. Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking Omen series. That's kind of the way that I view this guy. But Damon loves to go around and lecture people on all this stuff, and he loves to throw his influence and power around in the political theater, not just in Hollywood. That's why this is such a big issue. And maybe it's why he has decided that he doesn't need to flee to Europe, that he can just stay in Arizona. Perhaps he knows that he still has a lot of friends in very high places who will cover for him. People like those at NBC or the New York Times who have shut down articles and investigation about Harvey Weinstein. But that's the issue, folks. It's about the corruption of power, and it's about how these people try to misdirect everything from individual rights into a group right format so they can take everything that you've got. All right, we're going to talk about North Korea when we come back. There's not enough time to talk about it. Some interesting developments there. President Trump said as he was speaking to the Value Voters Summit and that is something put on by the Family Research Council. He was giving us exactly the opposite perspective, talking about individual rights, talking about the importance of families and individuals over government telling us what we can and cannot do. And again, we had a very important move that was done unilaterally by President Trump, undoing the unilateral, unconstitutional, unlawful actions done by President Obama and inflicting us with this thing we call affordable health care, or Obamacare. He's made some very important moves on that. And when we come back, we're going to talk about North Korea. Real quickly, in just a couple of seconds here, there's an interesting rivalry going on in the Supreme Court between Ginsburg, who is pushing for the idea that the Supreme Court writes the law, and President Trump's first Supreme Court appointment, Neil Gorsuch. Neil Gorsuch said in one of these discussions, he said, maybe we can, for just a second, talk about an arcane matter, the Constitution. That's exactly what we have seen. A lot of good news that has come out of the Trump administration. You may not have a good